Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 6. Last episode, we more or less finished our explorations of the Abyss, and this bit over here. We found this fort here, but we can't quite finish it off. I mean, we killed most in there, but the boss, we can't quite get him. So, we should be on our way to Silvar, since we have to deal with Silvar, Kotra, and Fort Dranlon. Although before we do, I just want to take a quick look in the Abyss, see if I can get a hint, because I think that Empire Archer, who has been following us about here and there, I think he was supposed to be in the Abyss and we missed him. So I'm going to take a quick trip to Fort Saffron, see if I can find any clues. Okay, right, I did some searching and checking around, and I think I may have been wrong. Maybe he doesn't show up there, though it is suggested he will show up somewhere eventually later. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, we gotta head over to Silvar. And to do that, we need to go to Murtis. Just gotta take the portals, as we do. And here we are. Alright. Now, up north to Silvar. Well, that's randomly dark. I have a feeling that gate would be closed if we weren't allowed to go through. Or there's that gate. You stand at the gate leading to the Eastern Gallery, the primary battleground against the Slith Horde. There's a sergeant peering out at you through the window. She looks like she is barely 17, if that. The situation up here must be desperate if warriors so young are being promoted like this. She looks out at you nervously through the bars. You don't think she has held this post long. Greetings, soldier. I am Sergeant Olala. I have a list here of people who can pass through the gate. Give me your name. Why do you need my name? We keep lists of soldiers who are allowed to travel freely. There aren't many, so we can keep track of them. It's to solve the problems we've been having. I need to pass through the gate. So everyone says, but we have had problems with deserters. And spies. Alright, we'll give our names. Ortas, Michael, Amar, and Ulrika. Sergeant Alala checks her papers. It doesn't take long for her to find you. Yes, all right. Now all we need to do is have the lizard sniff you and you can pass through. Lizards sniff? Yes, I'm afraid there have been troubles with Scribaner being carried in and out. My superiors want to make sure you don't have any accidentally. Alright, sniff away. The gate slowly opens and a soldier brings a lizard out. It sniffs at you. Then it lets out a little grunt. She gives a command. The guard stands aside to let you by. I apologize. You are free to go. How is the war going? I am the wrong person to ask. I would not want to spread rumors, as upsetting as they are. The headquarters for the battle are in Fort Dovno to the north. Where can I rest and get provisions near here? I would go into Silvar. It's a chaotic place, but there are people there. Kotra is being abandoned by order of the crown. I'll be going then. Alright, and I apologize for inconveniencing you. No worries. I understand why it had to be done. You enter the Eastern Gallery, the second largest cavern in Avernum. It stretches many miles to the west, though most of it is occupied within an enormous subterranean ocean. This is the front of Avernum's war with the Slith Horde. The invaders are currently kept bottled up by Fort Dovno to the north. All Avernum lives in fear of what would happen if the Slith Zerakai broke through. If they managed to seize the bridge behind you, they would be a short march from the heart of Avernum. The Horde needs to be held here. There are two major cities in the Eastern Gallery, Silvar to the east and Kotra to the northwest. You can hear Silvar from here, a constant hive of activity. You can see dimly Kotra in the distance. It looks very quiet and few lights are shining. Well, Silvar is where we will go, as it is right here. Alright. Take a look around the outside wall as I do. Also, we need to keep our eyes open. We need to find mushrooms from in here somewhere. The Eastern Gallery, I mean. Oop, too far. Yeah, there's a lot in Silvar, I can tell already. Alright, in we go. You enter the city of Silvar. This is Avernum's first city. Once, prisoners first arrived in Avernum and Fort Avernum, not far to the east. Once they arrived, dazed and terrified, this was the first city they stumbled into. And dazed and terrified are the two best words to describe Silvar now. This is the only city left in the Eastern Gallery, and the city closest to the Slith Horde. And it is only one bad day from anarchy. The city is full of terrified soldiers and refugees. There are too many people and too little food. Thugs and scribane eaters lurk in the shadows. You constantly hear shouting and fights in the alleyways, and the guards don't react. Whoever is in charge, they seem close to entirely losing control. Considering that Silvar is the main link between the front lines and the more stable parts of Avernum, this is very worrying. Oh dear. Alright. Nabil's trading post. We only deal with Avernite soldiers. There's an old woman moving briskly among the piles of equipment that fill this shop. She carries a clipboard and inventories of supplies. That is for the front, and those are to Dranlon. And that... don't know where that goes. She gives you a quick double take. She was about to ignore you until she notices your insignia. Ah, apologies. I tend to deal with commanders and generals, but all soldiers are welcome to trade with me. I am Nabil, chief supplier to our brave soldiers for all of northern Avernum. I suppose if you need something, I can trade with you on a lower scale than I am used to. You provide supplies for the army. I do. Generals and wizards should not have to waste their time dealing with scruffy merchants and miners and procurers of goods, so I do it for them. I occasionally enlist mercenaries, too. It lets them focus on the important business of winning the war. What sort of things do you procure? Food, raw materials, scavenged armor and weaponry, magical supplies, anything they might need in Fort Dovno to carry on the fight. Why do you hire mercenaries? To keep the trade routes open and to obtain anything needed. The army trusts me with a good deal of authority and resources, the sort of trust ordinary merchants never receive. I generally put notices for such work on the town job board. Anything I can do for you? What? Don't you have orders to follow? Well, if you think you can spare the time, I am not your commander. Some new powerful wizard just arrived in Fort Dovno, I hear, from Patrick's Tower. His assistant sent an order for 3 basilisk skins, probably for protective gear. Tough stuff to get, basilisk components. I heard there was a nest of basilisks to the northeast, but the adventurers I sent to investigate never returned. You might have to kill a few of the pests before you get skins of an adequate quality. 3 basilisk skins for someone in Fort Dovno. Okay. Nabil continues to inventory your goods, occasionally stopping to speak with you. It is so strange dealing with a customer on an individual level. Not something I have had to do in a while. What do you need? You only deal with soldiers? That is the case. I am paid well to focus my considerable skills on meeting the army's needs. Refugees have to content themselves with Neron's shop outside the West Gate. There's a shop out the West Gate. Okay. Let me see what you have. And nothing we need. And we have one thing to sell. That's all I need. Of course. Thank you for that refreshing diversion. I'll now return to dealing with the sort of quantities I work with now. I wonder what that is. Contador's Fine Garments. Remember when this was a, weapon store. This Nephil is a tailor, though you immediately realize that he doesn't deal in fashion. His long, nimble fingers are working on a thick wool cloak, lined with long strips of drakeskin. Wool is rare and expensive. This is gear for the serious traveler. He sets aside his needle and scissors, rises, and bows to you. Another soldier. Very good, very good. I'm Contador. I make strong clothes for the serious traveler, which I see you are. What sort of clothes do you sell? Nothing trivial, nothing soft. Only the finest garments for scouts, adventurers, spies, and travelers like you. The army pays me well for my wares. That is what Silvar does now. We support the warriors of Avernum against the Horde. Have you always done this? No. Before the Blight, I made lovely dresses and suits for the fine folk of Cotra and Formello. Now I do this work. It makes me satisfied. The army hires you? The army pays me every month. In return, all my time is spent for soldiers, for what they need. Thus I will trade with you. Merchants and mercenaries know only brave soldiers. Where do you get your supplies? I buy them. I send out adventurers. The army makes sure I have lots of money. Lava bat skin for tunics, and wormike horror to street cloth. I pay well for them. But what I need now is spider silk. I need much. Best thing for robes and mages in Avernum, but very hard to find. Well, perhaps I might find some for you. Perhaps you might, but I need a lot, and the only good nest near here is west of Fort Duvno. But I would not want to have you spend precious time on it. But if you were there anyway, 8 good webs worth of it would be enough to pay for the ropes that have been ordered. And of course, if you have a surplus, I will pay extra. We'll gather all we can find. Contador happily shows you his inventory. All of his garments are thick and well made, and many of them include materials that bear their own innate enchantments. The workmanship is incredible. I'd like to sell something to you. I am a tailor, not a glorious merchant. Dr. Neville next door. She buys. Can I see what you have? Various cloaks and the like, nothing we need. That's all I need. I thank you then, warrior, and I will be here if you have more needs. Of course. Ephraim's Blades. Closed. Maybe this is where the blades were. Looks like he's gone, though. A pity. What's in here? Silvar has many refugees. Poor, desperate souls, mostly hungry, recently transplanted here after the Great Portal exploded. They get very quiet whenever a soldier draws near, so you try to eavesdrop on their conversation. Don't even bother to speak with Mayor Augustus. He'll listen, but he can't do anything. The guard doesn't listen to him. They're right. The Smith Horde will break through. Nothing will stop them, no matter what the army says. Yep. I'm going to join the lot in the sewers. Live with them, if they'll have me. Help them with what they're planning. It's the only hope. The sewers, great. Is that it? I think that might be it. Alright. Not going to take any of the stairs down right now. Ah! Mayor Augustus has posted a request for aid on this job board. The drake Wurgris has occupied a cave near the road north of Kotra. This reptile has contacted our patrols, saying tribute needs to be given. Drakes are unpredictable and arrogant. A mercenary who can contact the creature and keep it from being a threat by paying it off or destroying it will be rewarded. Mayor Augustus has posted a request for aid on this job board. The heavily overstretched fortresses of Silvar have been given additional tasks they lack the resources for. Thus, we must turn to adventurers. The Horned Gate north of Fort Duvno is the border separating us from Smith lands. We are supposed to gather intelligence on it. A traveler who could sneak close to it and get a good look would be reimbursed. I think we can try that. Certain parties allied with the Ammonite army have found that they need fresh bone shards for their work, the sort of bits of bone that can only be gathered from the more powerful of the undead. Nabil of Silvar will pay generously for 10 pouches of these shards. The only nearby location where they can be found is the ruined keep in the tunnels north of Kotra. There's a pack of hellhounds living near the road connecting Silvar to Kotra. The Kotra garrison is unable to deal with this minor menace, and they have asked Silvar for support. If any adventurers are brave enough to do Kotra's job for them and thus save Silvar the inconvenience, reimbursement can be obtained from Captain Verbier. We'll see what we can do. Houses, it looks like. Well, there's something going on in there. Oh, hold on. Ooh, energy elixir. Alright. Oh! The captain of the Silvar garrison is not inclined to simply hide in the barracks. He is out patrolling the streets, keeping an eye on events. He rarely actually intervenes in the fights and other shady activities, but he watches. When he sees you, he doesn't approach you at first. He examines you carefully, sizing you up. Then he shakes his head, sighs, and walks over to meet you. I'm Captain Verbier. I control the soldiers here. Me. You're out of your jurisdiction. If you have orders here, follow them, but I don't appreciate any freelancing. Don't rile up the refugees. Can you tell me about the situation in the city? His eyes flick to your insignia. He doesn't outrank you. I suppose I should extend you that courtesy. Silvar's situation is chaotic. There's a high level of petty crime, and while scribbing use is under control, it could increase. But we tolerate these things because they keep the peace. The alternative is worse. What sort of crime takes place? You know, the standard things. Petty theft, muggings, gambling, brawls, other activities. When we don't interfere, it is just scum doing what scum does. And then, once there is killing, or once what they do threatens to disrupt Silvar or its role in the war, he raises a mailed fist. There's scribbing use? Officially, no. Unofficially, a few scribbing eaters are easier to deal with than the unrest if we try to control it. What are you afraid will happen? King Stars, in his infinite wisdom, dumped a horde of hungry, angry, desperate refugees into our fair city. Maybe they were good people once. Now they are scum and they could riot at any minute. Silvar is necessary to fight the war. This unrest must be prevented. Is the risk that great? It is. If you spend any time here, you will see for yourself. And no steps are too harsh when it comes to preventing Silvar from slipping into anarchy. Captain Verbier walks quickly along the street, expecting you to keep up. His eyes flicker back and forth, watching everything. And yet you aren't sure what he is actually looking for. He does seem to keep a close eye on the refugees. Can I get training or supplies? My men are too busy to train you and they don't have supplies to spare. You need something, talk to Nabil. There are a lot of refugees here. Refugees, that is a kind word for them. All the dignity of the Ammonites has been stripped from them. Now they are scum, and they will remain scum until they prove otherwise. You really believe they are scum? I've been watching them, watching how they deal with the fear, the desperation. They are barely human now. Where are they from? Mostly from the Great Portal. They were there, close to escape when the portal blew. They had hope and it was stripped away. And then they were dumped here. Oh, that's all we have to say from you. A little concerned. The Silvar arms. No steel, no spells. There are several adventurers, merchants, and shady characters talking in the inn common room. Their conversations grow remarkably quiet whenever you get close. Silvar's Inn is a busy, raucous place. Merchants, soldiers, mercenaries, and the occasional refugee with money to spend all come together here to eat, drink, and make deals. It takes some time, but you manage to get the attention of the innkeeper. Even balancing a tray of mugs on her shoulder, she is still able to speak with you. Greetings, soldier. I am Susanna of the Anama. Have a seat and browse the menu. The rules here are no drawn steel and no magic. Follow them and you'll be fine. How is business? Good, as you can see. I have the standard problems and pests, but we have customers too. A rowdy crowd, but I can keep them under control as long as they obey the rules. What sort of problems do you get? Sometimes I get pests in the basement. I used to pay mercenaries to go down there and clean them out, but now I just lock the doors and wait for them to leave. If you need to get to the sewers, you can reach them through the basement, but watch out for bugs. What are your rules? No spells and no steel. I run a safe business and I am an observing Anama. Spells and weapons are not welcome here. Very well then. Susanna continues to fulfill the orders of her customers as best she can. Whenever anyone gets a blade out or tries to cast a spell, she shouts at them. No spells, no steel. Those are my rules. Don't like them? Find a new inn. You belong to the Anama? I do. I truly believe in it. Relying on magic gets us into all sorts of trouble, and not all of us believe in shutting ourselves up into little enclaves. Tell me more about Anama beliefs. She nods. Her customers roll their eyes. They know they won't get her attention for a while. We believe that for every problem magic solves, it creates 5 more. No nation depends more on magic than Avernum, and no nation has more problems. Rely only on mushrooms made by magic, and you can complain when the blight destroys you. But I'm not a preacher, I just tend the bar. You'll have to find a full priest to learn more. Most Anama shut themselves away. They do. They make their own secret colonies and hide away. I don't think it's a good idea, it just makes us scary. Makes it easier to hate us. I think we should live among everyone else, but I'm in the minority. Are there any Anama near here? There are. There's a small colony to the northeast. They refuse to leave. They refuse to use the portal to escape, so they just wait for the end, I guess. They're scared of outsiders, but if you say that I sent you, they might talk to you. Thank you. Can I get a room? I'm completely full. Have been for weeks. Probably will be until the Slith Horde comes crashing through. What do you have on the menu? Yeah, various foods and the like. That's all I need. Thanks for stopping by, soldier. She nods and returns to her other, increasingly impatient customers. Okay, don't see the Anama that much anymore, but, they're around. There's the way into the basement. And here's this side. Oops. Didn't mean to press that. Docks over here. I remember when those were, these were originally, storage. Interesting. Very interesting. This home has been abandoned. Oh well. They left a few things behind. Excuse me. For burning fire. Trash. These are the Silvar docks. Once boats were made here, small, flat-bottomed craft made to navigate the rivers of the underworld. Many tons of goods were hauled in and out. Now the rivers are no longer secure and there are few goods left to be transported. Most merchants now exclusively carry food and equipment over land. The docks are closing down and the boatworks to the north are dormant. This woman must be the shipwright of Silvar. The tools hanging from her belt and the sad way she walks around the docks tip you off. She looks like she has been working here for a very long time. When she sees you watching her, she kicks an empty crate and turns to you. A sad sight, no? These are the last supplies brought in by ship. For the army, of course. Dried mushrooms, javelins. Once they're gone, the docks are dead. Sorry, I'm in a bitter mood today. I'm Ruth. So tell me about the docks. I don't know what to say that you can't already see. They've been abandoned. Most goods are taken over land now. All of the boats were taken off to be used by the Navy. Such as it is. Avernum has a navy. So I am told. I think they operate around Fort Dranlon, or the Waterfall Warren, or the Abyss. I haven't seen them here. Why are goods taken over land? Because some Slithzerakai can swim. Not enough to send an army, but enough to raid boats. A few of them were destroying the river craft, scuttling them. Cavewood boats are small and delicate. So no boats, caravans instead. Lovely. Ruth continues to pace around the docks. She occasionally looks north to boatworks, now occupied by refugees. Or thugs. She shakes her head bitterly. I'd like a boat. Well, I don't have workers left to make one for you, and I can't even use my own boatworks. I've heard rumors that the army is making boats, or the navy, whatever they call it, but all that work is happening in the Great Cave. What is happening in the boatworks? She looks at them and sighs. After my workers left, some thugs moved in. None of them left. They wouldn't let me in. And who knows what's going on in the storerooms below. You think something's happening downstairs? I know there is. I keep seeing people go down there. Then they come back up and they look dazed. But I don't want to say more. If that lot hears that I've been talking to people, it'd mean trouble for me. Would the guards help you get the boatworks back? Them? They don't care. And don't you worry about it either. We don't need bloody brawls in the street. It's alright, I'll get by. You say so. It's a little concerning, though. This boat was only halfway completed when the boatworks were abandoned. You could drag it to the water, but your journey would be cut short by the craft's lack of a bottom. The boatworks are full of brigands. Not refugees, thugs, plain and simple. They don't keep you from entering, they just watch you carefully as you pass. And I'm sorry if I just sound crap. I don't know what the hell happened. I was fine before, and then yesterday, all of a sudden, throat is sore, and I just... Now my nose is clogging up. I don't know what the hell is happening. We'll take a look there in a bit. The slums of Silvar occupy this cramped corner, and it looks like it has been thus for a long time. The walls are crumbling and the ground is filthy. Hungry people watch you from the shadows all around. You rapidly find that anywhere you walk immediately becomes empty. The refugees avoid you. Soldiers of Avernum are not welcome back here. Fortunately, you're unlikely to be mugged. Well, that's a plus at least. More refugees. Wetzel. Must be in here. Hulda. There is a young woman sitting in this small building. It looks like a small makeshift infirmary. The floor is covered with a large ratty carpet, probably scavenged from some ruin. The woman looks up at you and smiles nervously, and you can immediately tell that she is from the Empire. Her handful of months in the underworld would have not erased the color from her cheeks. Ah, an honest guest. A soldier of Avernum. Few of your kind poke their noses into this humble corner of town. I am Hulda, one of the few that try to assist these people. How can I help you? Tell me about the refugees. There is little to say, I think. They are your countrymen, dumped here when there was nowhere else to place them. And so they wait here, and they worry, and get thinner and more desperate. When I passed through here, I saw that there was a way I could help them. With my limited powers of healing, I mean, so I stayed. What do the refugees want? Food, safety, hope, escape. The same things you want, except that their reasonable wishes are greeted with nothing but contempt from those in charge here. Are the refugees dangerous? They are far more prey than hunter, I am afraid. Not that the guard would help them, but any large group of people when pushed enough is dangerous. But you have nothing to fear from me. I have done nothing but counsel them to be peaceful and patient. You are a healer. Of very limited skills. When I was on the surface, I studied the healing arts as a hobby, I suppose. Something to ease the tedium of life. Then I came to Silvar and saw that my skills were not a diversion, but something that could actually save lives, and that I had no right to keep them to myself. The city guard doesn't protect them? The city guard prefers to maintain a respectful distance from everything that happens back here. The refugees struggle to protect themselves. Nobody else will help them. Can you heal me? My powers are limited and I must reserve them for the people here. You have the entire army to support you. You should let the refugees have me. Fair enough. Is there anything else you need? Unlike many in these slums, I am willing to speak with the soldiers of Avernum, even if most of the time your lot refuses to help us. Are you from the Empire? I came here to visit with my family. We arrived shortly before the coming of the Blight. We still tried to continue our journey, perhaps an unwise choice. When the Swift Horde attacked, we were in Pomelo. My family fled south. They went to the Great Cave. I stayed here to help. Why did you come to Avernum? My family was wealthy and in need of diversion. We came, I suppose, to see the sights, to have a tiny serving of adventure. We received far more than we wanted. I hope my family is well. I hope they escape. What do you think of Avernum? I've never really considered it. I have been too busy. Should the Blight and the Horde be defeated, I suppose I must consider whether to stay. I'm sure it will be fascinating to decide. Life of darkness and danger, or a life of comfort and tedium? I wonder. Tough choice. Personally, I might choose the latter. I met your father in the Fisher Post. He is looking for you. I am very pleased to hear that my family is well. Please, if you have time, relay to him that I am safe and fulfilled, and let him know that I am staying. I am truly needed. I cannot leave, not without being unable to ever bear my face in the mirror again. We'll do just that. And I just remembered, I think there's someone in here we're supposed to keep our eyes out for. This was a trading post where merchants would meet and exchange goods from all over Avernum. It is now empty and unused. Most supplies brought to the Eastern Gallery are delivered directly to the army. Nothing valuable is coming out of the north because those tunnels are full of ravaging Slithzerakai. As I know. You are surprised to find that the mayor of Silvar has set up his office in a disused corner of the merchant's bazaar. He is an old man, and the chaos of the times has left him thin and exhausted. His hair has gone entirely gray. He looks up at you with watery eyes, and you immediately suspect that he is not up to the challenge of controlling the chaotic city. He almost quivers with relief when he sees you.
Finally! Oh, finally! I've heard of you. You're an agent from the castle, aren't you? The one who was there when the great portal was destroyed? This is a profound relief. I've been requesting help for months. I am Mayor Augustus, leader of Silvar, and I have been since happier times.
Tell me about Silvar.
What? I would be happy to help you. I just want to confirm that you are the help I requested.
I helped Jasmine at the castle. She said that you might reward me. You described to Augustus what happened at the castle.
Jasmine is all right, and she actually got someone's ear. Good girl, that one. I'd almost given up on her. Resources are scarce, but if she said I need to pay you, I will live up to it.
He gives you a pouch of gold coins from the Silvar treasury. Levitt sent me here to help you. He lurches out and grabs your hand.
Really? Oh, at last someone is here to help. I've tried to deal with the problem, but my guards, I tell them to do things, but they say they're busy, and... Yes, you can help me with the traitors. Deal with them, crush them. It is the only way.
What is happening in Silvar?
Silvar, the bulwark against the Slithzerakai, the main supply hub, and we have many refugees, too. Silvar contributes much still to Avernum, and we are the last city in the north, so we have little help. Of course, as you have seen, things are chaotic, but I will maintain control.
You have lots of refugees here.
Many, as you have seen, in the inn, in the ruined buildings, and even the sewers. They were all sent here. I warned the army that this was a bad place for them, but they didn't listen.
Why were they sent here?
I was told that this was the best place. The refugees here, they were all near the great portal when it was destroyed. Then they needed to be taken somewhere. This was chosen as... I warned them it was a bad idea. They didn't listen. Nobody listens to old Augustus now.
What happened to the other cities?
Formello fell to the Slith Horde. Damn it. Kotra was ordered abandoned because the army didn't have enough soldiers to defend it. Fort Dranlon and Fort Dumpno are still intact, I am happy to say, but the cities... no.
The situation is chaotic.
I probably shouldn't say. I've been advised I shouldn't, but... oh, you'll figure it out on your own. The puzzle is easy to solve. Too many desperate people, too many scribane eaters, too many thugs, too few soldiers. We have had to pick and choose what laws we enforce. We have prevented anarchy so far. We are doing well.
There are scribane eaters here?
They are everywhere, are they not? I asked the guards to slay those selling that vile herb, but they warned me it would anger the refugees, and ignored the order. So they remained.
And what laws are not enforced? He looks very nervous.
Oh, I am not sure about the exact day-to-day operations of the city guard. They do not send reports very often. Why, I think you should ask them.
Mayor Augustus wipes his brow with his sleeve and takes a sip of tea. You notice that his hands are trembling.
So... still much to do, yes? It is so difficult to keep track of everything. I'm sure you understand.
How long have you been mayor?
25 years. I was about to retire, you know. Settle on a nice farmhouse near Formello. Rest. But then the blight and the war. Now I am here, in this dusty office, unable to quit. And prone to occasional moments of self-pity.
Why can't you quit?
I sent word to the castle, or tried to. I say I should be replaced, but then the city guard says I should stay, and they are the ones with the couriers, the ones who are delivering my letters. I have suspicions, but in the meantime I should shoulder my duty as best I can.
How did this become your office?
I had a nice office, but the city guard needed it, and they keep order. So I moved here. They come see me when they need orders.
And what do you order?
Well, they present me with papers. I sign them. They know best what is happening from day to day, after all.
Sounds like the city guard has effectively taken over and they're letting things go rampant. I am here to help with the traders.
Yes, you came because I requested you. I did. You are here because of me. It is as I sent word to Levitt. There are some refugees in the sewers, but not just refugees. Brigands, traitors. They whisper to the poor, desperate, scared citizens, telling them they should revolt. You have to go down there quickly. Make them stop. Kill them if you have to. Make them stop spreading their treason.
Tell me about these traders.
Their leader is Wetzel. There are a dozen of them. They are armed. They need to be controlled. Kill them if you must. I won't shed any tears.
Why can't the guard deal with them?
I asked Captain Verbier that very question. He said that if the guard went around killing refugees it would cause trouble, riots. Better if done by outsiders. In this matter I think he is correct. You might want to talk to Verbier. Some in town might have advice to help you with the situation below, but he is the most likely.
How can I get down to the sewers?
There are many access points. I know one of them is in the slums.
What sort of treason are they spreading?
They say the war with the Slith Horde is lost. They say we need to destroy the Silvar Bridge, flee south and blow it up so the Horde can't follow. It is purest madness. One river will not stop the Slith Horde, but they believe it. Sometimes mad dogs need to be put down.
Is it really necessary to kill them?
Oh, I suppose that if you can find a way to get them to set aside their plans without violence, that would be all right. The guard would appreciate it and make it much easier to deal with the refugees. But I doubt it will be possible.
We'll see what we can do. And honestly, I have to end this episode here. This episode's gone on long enough. I don't know how much is going to be cut out, and somehow I've gotten sick, and I don't know how or why or anything, and I can't really continue these recordings right now. So, next episode will deal with the refugees hiding down in Silvar. Till then, I'm Trester44, that is Ortas, Michael, Amar, and Rika. This has been an Avernum 6 Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.